out to get us to where we was at. So what y'all basing y'all opinion off what y'all heard and not the details of what was said before that. Now, if you listen carefully to what I'm saying, what I said is a woman should not put herself in, and they painting a picture that somebody really got this shit really happened to them, but it didn't. We was going back and forth explaining, well, why do you feel like this and that? And I'm telling them that I have children. I have daughters. If my daughter goes out with a man, has sex with a man outside in the car, in the party, fingered all day, goes gets dropped off at home after going out to the bar having more drinks and partying. The man drops her off at home. She gets in her car and goes back to his house, fingering, jacking him off, rubbing the dick on her pussy, putting it in, and then, having consensual sex, both of y'all asshole naked in the bed. She tells you stop. She say stop. She ain't say stop. No, no, no. She didn't do that. She said stop. Anybody that has sex has heard no before and stop. And it turns the woman on and the man because you know what type of vibe you on. I told him if a woman tells you to stop and you don't stop, and she say, no, for real, stop, and push it away from you. You supposed to stop. And I said, and that's the bitch you kick the fuck out your house because that ain't how the motherfucker's supposed to be. But if you in there having sex, they talk about you be fucking for 15 minutes. On the 16th minute, you say stop. You supposed to stop immediately when she say stop. I said, if that happened to my daughter, I would not consider that rape. If he keep going to get his nut, hell yeah, that's rape. But if y'all been fucking all day, you go get dropped off, you come back to his house to have sex again, then in the middle of the sex, you say stop. He pumped 2 or 3 more times, then you get aggressive. I said stop. And then he don't. That is what we would consider rape. But you saying stop and him stopping, that can never be it. You can never say, well, he pumped 2 more times after I told him to stop, so I'm pressing charges on him. You gotta be involved in it. You have to be in that scenario to know if it's considered consensual or if it's rape. I never said take nobody's pussy. But the video that they put up after taking out all the content before it would make it look like I'm on some bullshit. But it was 2,700 people in there, and it wasn't one comment about that shit at all. They did an interview last night. It was no comments about that. All the shit was on him. If that's what I said, and that's what it meant, the whole app should not be talking about me today. This shit should have been happening yesterday when it was said. But it wasn't, but you gave it to the top broadcasters to paint a different narrative. Now you got people saying that this lady really got her vagina took. That's how they painted the narrative.
So let me respond and let's have a conversation here since we're gonna have a conversation. And y'all in the comments, I'm not letting nobody up right now because we're having a conversation. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. And he's being an adult, so I'm gonna be an adult. Keith, all of what you said right then and there, all of that, I absolutely agree with. If that happens with the female and she comes over and she's doing all this during sex, sometimes people will be like, no, and the person will keep going, whatever, like that. But if they push off and say no, like actual no, then be a bitch and stop. That's rape. You're saying that. That's fine. But in this clip that we have, and let me just say this clip right here that we have, you are legitimately saying verbatim, and you said out of your mouth, which is what my focus is. All of that other stuff, I don't care about all of that.
But what I'm telling you is I said that after I explained what I just told you and you agreed. But if you were to watch the whole video, you would be like, no, I understand. That's why it's still people. My people ain't left because they watched it and they understood everything I said before that. But anybody can take a clip. The same way they took that clip with Leah's mom to get my page taken.
Hold up. But what you have to understand is everything that you just said before and all that other stuff. I don't know anything about that, but I'm just telling you verbatim out of your mouth in this clip, though, you did say, just listen.
But you're playing a clip, Robert. That's what I'm telling you. You're playing a clip.
No, but Keith, in the clip, what you said is so detrimental.
But you only read in the last paragraph of a whole goddamn essay.
Yeah, but that last paragraph is like the main juice of the whole fucking thing.
But it's only juice because it's a clip.
No, it's not a clip, Keith.
It's only juice because it's a clip.
Keith, let me just say something. Can I just
tell you, bro?
Let me just say this. This is my opinion. In this clip, regardless of everything else you're just saying, because if you just said everything else you just said and explained it like that, I would have sat there with you. You know, I'm a real nigga. I would have been like, yeah, motherfuckers might be like, no, and then still be whatever. And you basically literally are saying somebody said no, and then they kept going and aggressively tried, yeah, that's rape, and you don't agree with all of that. That's fine. But my thing is this, Keith. and I'm speaking specifically for this clip. Just hear me. In this, actually, I'm just gonna play it and tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying. Okay, let me just play this, and then because I don't know anything else about the other stuff, but I want to play this. It was look at another nigga the whole party, and all them bad bitches that was at the party, Kutty wouldn't have been on your ass like he was. He wouldn't have been in a jacuzzi with a house full of bitches, and you and him the only ones in the pool. Stop it. You were sitting on this lap the whole fucking weekend. And if that's what you do, then niggas tease them for 2 and 3 days at a time and don't give up no vagina, your ass needs to be a victim of rape or some type of sexual assault. So what you have to understand, Keith, and listen to me here, because you're not a stupid man. You're not at all, actually. Trina is dumb.
No.
Trina's dumb. You're not. What you need to understand is you said if you tease someone, you deserve to be a victim of rape or sexual assault. Now, what you need to, listen, because you said that out your mouth verbatim. What you need to
I agree with
understand
you.
is that is the reason why victims do not come forward, because they feel like because they are shamed for possibly someone could say they were teasing them or putting something on them, and you're saying that they deserve to have their body taken advantage of. I don't care about anything else that was going on. And what you have to understand, hold up, Keith, just let me say this. What you have to understand is why this is so prominent is that statement negates every single thing else you said, because that statement means everything you said was bullshit, because you're saying if someone teases someone, they deserve to be raped or sexually assaulted.
No. And I agree with you by the clip that you said. If I heard just that clip, I would be right next to you screaming the same shit you is. Facts. But what I'm telling you is it was 5 to 7 minutes of me talking right there where I had put in parentheses, you in the bed with a nigga, you rubbing his dick all in your pussy, you letting him put the head in, y'all start having sex, then you say stop. And I explained, if you say stop and you're saying stop with force, yes. And I told them that I'd kick that bitch out and I never fuck with her again because that gets niggas life in prison. But think if you have a son and your son did that and your son was fucking on a girl and she said stop and he pumped 2 more times. She said, no, get off me. That's not considered rape. I said, if you say stop and then he don't stop immediately during consensual sex because you just said stop. No. And then he like, what? Stop. And you like, stop. Now he stopped. That's not rape because you said stop and he pumped you 2 or 3. I said this 2 or 3 more times. That's not rape. I wouldn't do that. And I said, if it was my daughter in the same situation, I'd tell her you dead wrong for pressing charges on him. If you say stop and get up out the bed or push him and let him know that you serious, then hell yeah, that is considered rape. I explained that thoroughly. But when you take that clip during our talk, it ain't nobody in here that's gonna say I said anything different. So by your clip,
I'm ignoring the comments because
I'm telling you, by your clip, I totally agree with you. By that clip, absolutely, I agree with you, bro.
This is 2 grown men talking. Hold up. Now, Keith, what you have to understand is also what you do have to understand is, Keith, while I might agree with you because there are scenarios where bitch you could be fucking and someone might be like no and they get another pump or 2 and then you're like no actually I mean no, and if that person goes and presses charges and says they rape, yeah, that's one thing. Those are certain scenarios and I'm with you on that, Keith. That is absolutely. But what I'm telling you is you have to understand that you are an influential person, and those words that you said in that moment for that one clip, even if it was a small clip, negates everything because you are saying someone deserves because of teasing to get. So, I'm telling you, I'm hearing everything you're saying, and we're on the same page.
I can't argue with you because you basing your opinion off a clip. It'd be impossible for me to argue with you about reading the whole book. That I read the whole book and you only read the end of it. We couldn't argue.
But Keith, can I just say this? If I read a whole book and somebody grew up to be a church deacon or a church nun or whatever it is, and they fucking saved people and went to church every day, and then at the end, bitch, we found out that a bitch was actually human trafficking and killing small children and whatever, bitch, whatever that, or raping the children at the end, that is going to be the focus of the book, bitch. That's how it ends. That's the main primary thing of the book, and that's what I'm telling you.
How many times have you been on here and y'all have, not you, but y'all, I'm saying y'all as in this app, have advocated this shit? Say something. I wish this happened to them. I wish that Trina B just got his motherfucking whole following fucked up because he said if you leave the club with a man and go to a hotel.
You're right. And we crucified the fuck out of him for that. So that's why we on your ass, because you might have meant something. But this clip right here is you saying.
We seen Trina B's whole life. We seen him say, fuck all you black bitches. I don't like none of y'all and I'm finna be cherry to boom. It's because it's me. It's because it's me that is parenthesis.
Let me just say this. Well, let me just say this. I'm not. I say this because I know you off of here. I'm not. This ain't no Keith hate train, and I let people know that in general. You know how I feel strong, and I would tell you this shit in person.
That know
And
me
I'm
know
telling
damn
you
well I'm a great
what?
advocate, bro. Anybody that know me know goddamn well I'm not promoting no motherfucking sexual encounter like that
Okay,
where a nigga
but Keith, I need you to understand. I need you to understand that if you're an advocate, you do not say that someone teasing someone deserves for them to get the thing that you're advocating against.
But
It
when
makes
I say teasing, you can take teasing and turn it into whatever you want.
it doesn't
But
matter.
I explain teasing as you putting a penis inside of you. You, the woman, taking a dick and putting it inside of her and having consensual sex. It's called teasing because you told him to stop. So yes, teasing is a word that you can use widely. But when I explained it thoroughly before the clip that was clipped to make it look like something else, to create content, yes, I'm telling you, I can't argue with you at all because you're basing your opinion off the clip. But if you tell whoever sent you that clip to point you to the whole live, they not go do it because the clip will make sense. You'll be like, no, a pastor didn't mean that. That ain't what pastor said. If you think these motherfuckers follow me and I got a court that's gonna follow me when I'm saying, yeah, you deserve this and you supposed to get that when you a whole goddamn woman. I said, if you want to, I said, you can't be a hoe all day, then go to the house and become a woman. You can't be a hoe all day, go to the house, do hoish shit, then become a woman while you're in sex. That's why the lady on Trina B panel said, I don't care if it's 15 minutes into sex and I tell you to stop on the 16th, that's rape. No, if you tell me to stop on the 16th and I stop on the 16th, it's not considered none of that.
Well,
But if I keep going after you proved and you really showing me that you don't want it, then hell yeah, that's what it is.
okay. So Keith, I think here's where the disconnect is. I think for you, and just hear me out. I think for you, that is your opinion, and that is what you think is the difference between rape and not rape, and sexual assault and not sexual assault. So if you were talking in terms of teasing in that clip, and you were speaking specifically on what you just said, that is your opinion, and you're entitled to that. But what I think the disconnect here is when it comes to rape and sexual assault, the first time someone says no, even if it's in the context of playing around X, Y, and Z, it means no. And I think the disconnect here is you're talking about teasing, saying, "Oh, I'm a female, might be doing this with a nigga's dick, whatever, like that, blah 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 blah." Then that's what. But you still, when you say words like deserve, all those types of words, whatever it is, you're still encouraging or enabling the action to have happened, and that's where the disconnect is. If you're gonna explain it like that. But there should be no
I did.
statement or
I
no
explained it
clips.
to the max. You only got a clip. You only got a clip. I'm telling you that I explained it just like you saying. But if you take anything, a whole sentence somebody say, and take a clip out of it, you can paint whatever narrative you want. If I say
Absolutely,
that,
you are right,
deserve
Keith. You are right. But but Keith, this is the difference between painting a narrative and verbatim you making a
for the rest of
statement.
it. What did he say after that? What did he say before and after that? You don't know. So
I
you
don't.
don't know how I explained it because they ended the clip to make it paint a narrative.
Yeah, but
It
Keith,
ain't no different than
but
going out in
Keith.
the middle of the street.
Okay, but listen. I could sit up here, Keith, and I could sit up here all day and be
You
like,
don't have no understanding, bro.
no. Let me just explain this to you so you can try to understand where I'm coming from because you're basing it off saying a clip. But I want to tell you
I'm
that the validity of the clip is enough for me. I don't really give a shit about what happened before, during, or after. And let me just say that because I say this. I can sit up here all day, Keith, and be like, black people are my friends. I love black people. Black people, I've had plenty of friends and I'm a white person. I love black people. I love black people. There's a whole live of me talking about black people, black friends, everything like that. And then at the end, I can say, yeah, I mean, niggers are niggers. I have plenty of niggers. That's a nigger, nigger friend. But before, I was talking about how I came from a small town. People said the N word, X, Y, and Z, and that's all I know. But all you're going to see is me still saying the word nigger, 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 and I'm a white person saying the
let me
N-E-G-E-R
explain it.
word, which is fucked up, and me being racist. The
Let me
fact
give
of
a
the matter is, Keith,
narrative.
you have to understand that
Let me
even if
give a
it's
narrative since I was there. Let me give you a narrative since I was there to make it make more sense. And let's change. I'm gonna change it, and then you tell me if it makes sense. I'm on live, and I'm telling you, and I'm saying, you not here yet. This ain't getting recorded yet. We go wait till he say some fucked up shit. Yeah, yeah, he shot. Well, such and such came over there, and when she came over there, she shot the girl. She shot the girl. Her mama was at home with her. It was a mom and a daughter. Now the daughter was beefing with such and such, with the girl that came over. Now the girl came over there, and when the girl came over there, she told the daughter to come outside. The daughter came outside. As soon as she came outside, she shot her. Boom. After she shot her, she shot the mama too. Boom. Oh, damn. So the girl leave, right? And after the girl leave, I pulled up on the bitch and I shot the bitch in the face and I shoot the bitch in the face again. And all you got is, yeah, I shot the bitch and I shoot the bitch in the face again. He dead wrong. He dead wrong. You don't know what was explained to why this phrase was said. So now in everybody's mind, you dead wrong because you only heard that, no, it don't matter what happened. You shouldn't shoot no bitch in the face. You shouldn't have did that. You only heard that part. So it's not, I can't argue with nobody that only heard the clip. And I can never prove nothing with anybody that only heard the clip.
Okay.
You can't go to trial with just what happened. Every time anybody get investigated, they see what led up to this being said and what was said actually. Yes, I did say that right there, but it's a clip. But after I got through saying that, I explained again exactly what I meant. And if you think that I got 3,000 to 5,000 people that's gonna crowd my room every time I hit the live button after saying that, even today, after everybody painted a narrative, Bella came up there and explained that that wasn't it. The girl that they trying to make it about came up in my live 15 minutes ago and explained that.
So can you? So since you're here right now in 5,000 in front of 5,200 people, and I'm an equal opportunist, I'm gonna play the clip, and I want you to right now for me, right after I play this clip, explain what you meant by that. Can you do that?
I already explained it. But yeah, do it again. I'll do it again. Do it again. Go ahead.
Because there's a disconnect for me, Keith, in saying that just this. Okay.
All right, play it.
Stop. You with a house full of bitches, and you and him the only ones in the pool. Stop it. You were sitting on this lap the whole fucking weekend. And if that's what you do, then niggas tease them for 2 or 3 days at a time and don't give up no vagina, your ass needs to be a victim of rape or some type of sexual assault because you tease the fuck out of him the whole weekend. Tease them for 2 or 3 days at a time and don't give up no vagina, your ass needs to be a victim of rape or some type of sexual assault.
So I just want you, so Keith,
now let me rewind it. I'm gonna rewind it.
Wait, because I want to put it in context.
You said you want me to make it make sense, so I'm gonna rewind it to before I said
Tell me where someone deserves
verbatim. You can play a clip and you go let me explain it. Okay. Is you gonna let me explain it or not?
Yeah.
Bitch, you been with this nigga the whole weekend with a whole bunch of women that he can fuck. Y'all in the jacuzzi. He's rubbing on your pussy. He's fingering you. He fucked you outside in the front. Sean Cash walked out and la la la. Kutty told him, go back in the house. We know for a fact you was doing this. He dropped you off at home. You got in your car and came back to his house. You came back to his house after y'all did all this, had sex and everything else. You came back to his house. You got naked because you said you woke up in his clothes. You put on his clothes after y'all did what y'all did. Now, this never happened to her. We're talking about a scenario. You did all of that. I'm telling you, there's no way in the world that you can say this man took something from you when we seen you giving it away consensually. And if that's what you gonna do, be at the house, get asshole naked, get in the bed with a man, rubbing on him, he rubbing on you, you letting him put it inside you, and you doing this and you doing that, then you deserve whatever the fuck happened to you. You deserve that. But she never said, she said, they made no means no. This never happened.
So wait, pause. Here's the issue. Okay. If you had said all of what you just said and said deserve whatever happens to you for implying and doing all that, blah, 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 there probably would have been there probably might have been an uproar, but it might have been a different uproar. The issue is, Keith, here is when you said deserve, the issue is, just let me tell you what my thing is. Because if you said deserve whatever had been happened to you and explain all that, that would have been different if you had put it in context. But when you say someone deserves to be raped or sexually assaulted, that is forced upon someone putting their body on them sexually. That is them. That is the pushing off that you're talking about. Right. That is what that is. That's what I'm saying.
And listen, after I said that, I said if my daughter was in the same situation where she was doing all the stuff that I said that happened, you out here, you getting fingered, you doing all this sexual shit, you outside in the car getting fucked, you doing all this, and the nigga take you home, you go back to his house, get naked, get in the bed, rub on his, verbatim, rub on his dick. He rubbing on your pussy. You grab his dick, put it inside you. You saying, no, we ain't gonna do it, but you keep playing with your vagina with his dick. Then you stick it in. You say, don't put it all the way in. And he do it. Y'all get to having sex and you tell him to stop. He don't know that you really mean stop because y'all been doing this. If you say stop and get the fuck up, then hell yeah, that's when it becomes the R word. But if that's what you did and he pumped you two or exact words and he kept pumping 2-3 more times, then you said, no, stop for real, and he stopped, then and he don't stop, then that is considered you taking the shit. That's what I said. But every human, I don't give a fuck if you like me or not, has said no while having consensual sex. No, no, stop, don't do that. Oh yeah, right there. Stop. That's what they be doing in real life. Anybody that fucks know that. So you have to make sure after already done consensually had that, you can't say no and stop and know that I'm supposed to know that you really trying to scream like you ain't trying to do this. But when you make it known, you turn around, no, I said stop and get up, and he still do it, then yes, that's considered that. And I said, if my daughter did the same thing and was in the bed and the man pumped 2 or 3 more times and then stopped because she forced him to and said, no, I'm for real, then I would ridicule my daughter for pressing charges on him because he stopped. Just because he didn't stop as soon as you said it after y'all been doing all this all day, I ain't gonna consider that. But if he keep going and you letting him know that I really don't want you on top of me, then hell yeah, he's dead wrong. And he should go to jail for that. I explained this thoroughly, the same shit I'm telling you. I said it in that, and I bet you can't get the whole video because it's gonna fuck up that clip.
They already sent me the whole video, but I just want to say this, Keith. You have your perception of that, and when it comes to certain, for me, just for me personally, I just don't think, and I think verbiage is a big thing, and I think hearing that clip was triggering. Which you just let me say this: hearing that clip was triggering, whether you're explaining it, whether it was a before or after, because the reality of it is, if you say words like deserve to be raped or deserve to be sexually assaulted in any instance, regardless of what you explain it for, it's not a good look. So I just want you to understand that I hear everything that you're trying to say with the explaining and stuff like that, but to someone like me and to the rest of the world, that is stuff that no one deserves. No one deserves you. I mean, you don't deserve to have anything happen to you if you was chilling with a bitch, you know what I'm saying, and giving her a little X, Y, and Z, and she
But the rest of the world don't feel like that. The rest of the world don't feel like that. Everything that happened to me, I deserve it no matter what. I deserve to get my money took for letting a nigga borrow some shit. He deserved to run off with the rest. He deserved to get his house shot up. I deserve everything according to everybody else. Maybe not to you. So don't make it like that when it's me. I don't gotta
no one. Let me just say
day,
this. Let me say this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can wear mini skirts. You can twaddle with a nigga's dick. You can do X, Y, and Z. You can suck a dick for 2 hours. You can do a backflip to a cartwheel to a spring to whatever it is. No one on this earth deserves to have their freedom and their body taken control of by anyone, men, women, or children, no matter what circumstance. And Keith, I have to hold on. Let me just say this. Even though I hear what you're saying about the extra 1 or 2 pumps in the no, and there's scenarios where that happened, I don't even agree with that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't agree. So what I'm hearing everything you're saying, and you're explaining it, and you're explaining what you see rape as and what you see X, Y, and Z as, and that is fine. And I'm here for you explaining whatever it is. And my perception has changed slightly. But what I think you need to understand is the deserve, the rape, the sexual, whatever, that should never be something anyone gets ever.
I understand somebody saying you should have worded that different. You can understand that you can say worded that different. Then yeah, you can say that. But to say that I was wrong with what I said and not know what I said or why I said it, then that's different. But somebody saying you worded that the wrong way, Pastor, because I was there and I know what you said.
You worded it to make you sound like you literally sounded like a predator. And a predator, let me just say this for you. A predator is someone who enables or is okay with other people doing a predator. And I told Trina to be the same thing, which is why we got his ass up and out of here when he talked about Tammy PA and said that about a woman wearing a skirt and all this. And if she wears something or she's acting a certain way or doing this with the man, then she deserves to have someone. No one ever, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. You don't deserve to ever be taken. A man or a woman, any of the survivors in here don't deserve that. Now, Keith, you worded that horribly. If you had said and got up there and said, listen, y'all, she was doing all of this, and if they had one or two extra strokes, and she said no, and they had another one because they thought she was playing, and then she was really saying no, and then he didn't know, but he stopped, and then she went and took him to court and all that stuff when they were drunk and all this. That's one thing. That's one thing where you could present it like that. But even with this clip, and this clip literally with the word deserve, that sounds like enabling. That sounds like predatorial fucking shit. And that is why people are like, oh hell no. I don't. You say a lot of crazy shit, and that's fine. But when it comes to stuff like that, you got to understand that you have a platform and verbiage where you can't even. I couldn't even slip up and say shit like that.
Listen, motherfuckers slip up and say whatever the fuck they want on this bitch. It depends on who you know. Motherfuckers' pages done been took
I don't need
permanent.
the entire clip.
Motherfuckers' pages done got took. Listen, people pages done got took for way worse shit, and they got it back because it ain't what they deserve. A motherfucker said Pum Pum Precious and her daughter if she getting away, and that wasn't enough for people to go crazy and say, no, they ain't supposed to be on here. They on here and ain't nobody mentioning the shit no more. But if I do the exact same, I didn't even tell a motherfucker to go to Leah's house. A motherfucker went by theyself and I was dead wrong and I respected her the whole video. You seen the whole live. I never disrespected her. I said the things your daughter doing will have people pum in your house, and they took that clip and got my page took when I never disrespected her. Like I said, I don't get, at the end of the day, I'm not a host. I'm not a host on this app, and I don't give a fuck about nobody doing the clip. I don't get paid to be on this app. I got a group with 12,000 people on it. My page can get snatched. I'll make another one and another one and another one. And I do the same goddamn content that I've been doing. I'm on my 30th page, man. This why I don't give a fuck about coming back. Cause y'all hate too strong and I make the same money or enough money without a fucking page.
Well, you
my
know
page,
me. You know me. My energy's not about all of that. That's the pastor
but
hate
what I'm
train. I
telling
don't
you,
have a
Robert,
pastor
is
hate train.
listen,
I'm just
you gotta
specifically
understand.
speaking on
You
this.
know, as long as you know me, you know that I ain't gonna get up here and bite my tongue about shit. If I said it and I meant it the way that y'all putting it, then I would say that. But I know what I said, and I know everybody in that room that was there know what I said. But the haters, the 400 and 500 window lickers that recorded it and put out that fake ass narrative, got the app in the uproar. We are talking about a woman that allegedly got her ass whooped, pum put in her mouth, and all type of shit. That was 5,000 people strong. We ain't talked about that shit all day today.
Well, we could
Because
talk about that, but you got to understand your
no, we
wording
don't
was
got to. What
your
I'm trying
wording
to
was
say is
fucked.
my
Don't nobody
word over,
deserve shit, Keith.
man, my
Don't ever
word
say no
every,
shit like that again. If you don't mean
that's
it,
your
I don't give a fuck.
opinion, bro.
Whatever it is, it
That's
was
your
fucked up.
opinion. That's your opinion.
No, that's a
That's your
fact.
opinion.
That's a fact, Keith. Don't nobody
Listen,
deserve
bro.
to get raped or
Listen,
sexually
you not
assaulted,
hearing me
even
because
with
you
a dick
got
in their
your viewers.
vagina.
You're not hearing me because you got your viewers up and you creating content.
I
Listen
don't give
to
a
me.
fuck about the viewers, bitch.
Okay,
I was
so
gonna talk
listen
about
to me
bitch.
then. Well, listen to me then. If I said that I meant what the fuck I said, but I could have worded it different, you cannot ridicule me about something that I agree with. Me and you both agreed that if the sex was like I explained it, then you could understand that. So we agreed on that.
So Keith,
But since I
Do you think? So Keith,
I didn't use politically correct wording,
Okay.
after I said, okay, Robert, you're right. Maybe I could have worded it different.
Okay.
But what I said and how I explained it made sense to everyone to where nobody that was in there felt no type of way because the comments never went crazy. The panel never went crazy. Ain't nobody on the panel say nothing.
I'm
And
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because contrary to popular belief, when you're wrong or you're stubborn about some shit, your folks are afraid to speak to you and step to you.
I don't got 5,000 folks. I ain't never had 5,000 of my folks in the room. I've never had that. That ain't what I had. But when you're in there
You a
and you
damn
hear,
lie. You could go live on this page and there'll be 5,000 people. Who you trying to
listen,
tell?
them not gonna be my people. It's lotteries and shit going on the whole life. That mean they not my people. I'm
Child,
not
them
five.
church folk come in like white on rice. I don't know who you tell them to go
Listen,
get. You tell them to go clip
I'm the
somebody and
only
they'll clip somebody.
broadcaster. I'm the only person that goes live that let the comments do what they want. Going anybody else live, maybe not yours, but going anybody else live, you're getting kicked and muted for having a disagreement. I don't. Because when I say shit, I know what I said, and I don't have to rebuttal what I said. If I make a mistake, then I tell you, well, I was wrong on that. I'm cool with being wrong on shit if I'm wrong.
Okay. Okay.
And like I said, what I said made perfect sense, and that's why they didn't. It would have been lottery saying, "Oh, these motherfuckers hear this, hear that," like they did today after y'all painted the narrative.
Keith, just be what be. I want to be very clear. I didn't paint no narrative. I go off of what I hear. But just be just from me to you, please, regardless, even if you're telling a whole story, certain words like rape and sexual assault is a very sensitive thing. There's so many survivors and so many women and men and children who have been stuff like this. No one ever deserves any of this. Just be conscious of that. Even if you're telling a story and explaining something, that verbiage when using terms like this is, and hold up, first and foremost, I appreciate you for coming over to the live and even clarifying, because most folks won't do that and will run from stuff like that. So I give you
I run
kudos to.
from the truth, man. The truth outweigh everything. And if
But
I meant that and I
just
didn't
hear
care
me,
about
just
the
hear me and
victims,
say,
go ahead.
just
Go
hear
ahead.
just hear me in saying that this is a sensitive topic. No one deserves anything, regardless of whatever context it's in, regardless of whatever it is. No one deserves to be raped, sexually assaulted, molested, touched. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. There's
Fact.
so many survivors out there. And
Fact.
just moving forward, if you feel that same way, I'm asking you from man to man to just be more sensitive
And I'm
towards
telling
that
you,
verbiage when you're
and what
discussing
I'm
these types of
telling you,
topics.
what I'm telling you is you explaining something that we already agreed on.
Okay, that's it. And
What
that's it. Got it.
what you saying is wrong with what I said is how I said it. And I said that I could have worded it differently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
So that's
everything you
I
said
don't
to me,
have no
everything you
problem
said
with
to,
you saying that. I don't have no problem with what you saying because yes, I could have worded that differently because I should be competent that it's gonna get recorded and it's gonna be a clip throughout. But what I'm telling you is, if you think that all these motherfuckers in real life is delusional and crazy and just cultivated by pastor that he can get away with that, stop it. Now I ain't saying it ain't some people that ain't gonna say shit to me never, because it is. But the audience I have is based on I got the biggest, most moral consistent panel out here. Far as motherfuckers that care and take care of their families and shit like that. And I don't got a whole bunch of trolls. I got real people, and my following is majority women. If it's 5,000 in there, it's 300 men. It's all women. So if you think with me having daughters and all that, then I'm saying anybody is supposed to, yeah, rape her for what she did and la, la, la. Now, if we roasting and you get on that shit, I'm going to match your energy
yeah,
because
that's
I'm
fine.
matching.
That's fine. But that's not this. Yeah,
But,
that's not
but,
this.
but in this case, you would have, I'm telling you that if you see the whole live, your opinion would be different. You will say, well, I understand what P was saying, but he worded that the wrong way. That's what you would say. He worded that
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would see the whole live, and I would be just as disgusted as when I saw the clip as I would after the whole. I can put money on that
you
because the
wouldn't because you
statement,
don't think me
this
explain exactly what I mean.
because everything that you said to me before, I was agreeing with. I'm on the same side, and I hear how you think, and I hear your logic and reasoning. But when I got to that part, I would still have the same disgust I did when I did.
You
I can
wouldn't
guarantee you.
because after I say that, I go back into an explanation of what I meant. What I was saying. I go back into another explanation. So you would say, yeah, he worded that wrong. And I don't feel him for saying it like that, but I understand what he was saying and the point in the narrative he was trying to put or present. That's what you would say. I'm not saying that that sentence still wouldn't be like, nah. You would say that and you would be like, yeah, he said that fucking wrong. Like everything he said makes sense, but the way he worded that right there, I can never fuck with that statement that he made right there. I'm not saying that you would change your opinion about that statement, but you would change your opinion about what people are trying to assume that I meant because I explained what I meant by what I said. Now, if I worded it the wrong way, agreeable. But after I explained it before that clip and after that clip, a motherfucker would have an insight on Pastor didn't mean that he want people to get that happen to them. He don't want that to happen. He explained the way he explained it, but he shouldn't have said it like that. Like some people did come to me and say, some people did say, Pastor, you worded that. I know exactly what you meant, but the way you worded it make it look different. So that's why I'm saying, if that's the clip you got and you base your opinion off that, I'm not finna argue with you because you should have that opinion about that clip because I had that same opinion about that clip. But when I watched the overall video, I understand what he was saying, but he could have said that a different way right there. Everything he said make perfect fucking sense. But the way he said that one statement, I can't agree with that. Cool. That's cool. So I'm not here to argue or debate with you because what you saying, I agree with it. I shouldn't have worded it the way I did. The way I worded it was wrong, but with the message that I sent before and after that, I stand on the message that I sent. So yeah, I can say that one statement.
Well, I
Could.
can't comment. I can't comment. I can only comment. I'm only commenting on that statement in that clip in that video. I cannot comment. I cannot comment on whatever statement or
Right,
overall
and that's
because I
why.
have not watched the overall. That was
Right,
not
and
my
that's why I
focus.
said I'm cool with what you're saying. That's why I'm not gonna argue with you about your opinion on what happened with the statement because you supposed to feel how you feel, and I would the same too if all I got was that clip. If all I got was that clip, I'll be right there saying the same shit. So I'm not saying you wrong because you telling me you ain't seen it all. Journey called me and said the same shit, and I told her you ain't see it all. She was like, the panel I was on, and she's like, yeah, you should have worded that different. You should have worded it different, but I understood what you were saying. So I don't give a, at the end of the day, nobody's opinion matters if it's a false narrative behind it. So what you saying, I'd be a fool to argue with you about a clip. But if you see the whole thing and you still feel the same way, then I can put up my art. Now we can argue. But I can't argue with somebody that only got 10% of the whole fucking live that was 3 or 4 hours. That went from one panel to a whole nother panel.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just got a clip with a statement that just blew my fucking mind. To be honest with you,
And
that was
that's
just
cool. And that's cool. That's cool.
well.
But
All
guess
right.
what? Anything that blew your mind had 3,000 people not whose mind wasn't blue, and it's only up there because it's the fucking pastor.
Well, there's 3,000 people because a lot of them bitches are scared of you. A lot of them
And
churches are a lot of your
okay,
members are
okay,
scared of
so
you.
make this make sense then. If that's the truth, make this make sense. It was 5,000 people yesterday in a live ridiculing Kutty for what he did or what was alleged he did. We have pictures, uh, court documents, and a jail penitentiary number where a person went to prison for beating a wife to a fucking pulp.
Horrible.
Why
Who?
isn't that shit getting the same goddamn attention? How can
Somebody
two
slide that
people
across my desk. I guarantee you it will.
get
Just
that?
like we
Because
motherfucking
it's
got
not.
Brandon.
If I do the same exact shit, if I did the same exact shit that lady alleged Kutty did, and somebody else said the same exact statements that I said with the same narrative, and they clipped that one statement, wouldn't nobody be live about this shit right now? We'll all be live about Pastor did this to that girl. He did that in front of the daughter. He did this and he did that. At the end of the day, no matter what nobody say, I ain't been a host in 10 months. I'm still the fucking king of this app, bro. Because everything I do gets a magnifying glass on it. Big facts. Ain't no deflection. If my page get took, if y'all take it, I don't give a fuck. I got a device that I don't have nothing on that I'm going to reset and make another fucking page. Take as many as you want. You won't get rid of the pastor. In Jesus' name.
Well, all right. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, bro. Continue your shit.
I guess we're gonna have to agree to disagree, but I base what I see off of that. And I appreciate him for coming up and explaining what he was trying to say and saying that his verbiage, X, Y, and Z, and his understanding of that. But rape and sexual assault is nothing I play with. So, at the end of the day, Keith, that's something that even after explaining it and having a clip, I'm not the type of person to care to see what happened before or after. I'm the person that's going to focus on what was said out of the person's mouth. But thank you for coming up and explaining and trying to, clarify what exactly in terms of, I always give people the opportunity to clarify and say whatever they say. So, well, it's not an opinion. It is an opinion, but it's also based off of what I see. I could understand if it's an opinion off of, like, oh, well, I heard of some Beyonce song. She's all right. But when I see something, and rape and sexual assault is very serious. And once again, all of the survivors, you don't deserve anything. Yeah, rewording. Well, that's why I said to him, like, he needs to understand the severity of the verbiage that he said. Rape and sexual assault is not something no one deserves that. Like, my stance, I don't care if it was a 5-second, 20-second clip, my stance has never changed. You don't say people deserve that no matter what the circumstance is. I don't care what's going on. I don't know the story. I didn't need to know the story. It hasn't changed. But the reality of it is, for the survivors in here, don't ever let statements of anyone, whether their verbiage is wrong or right, make you feel like you teased or enabled anyone to ever do anything to you. Men, women, children, ever.